Oh, the clock's fast.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening's meeting of the Highways and General Purposes Committee of Denby Parish Council. It's 7:30 on Wednesday, the 30th of July 2025 at the Old School. I am opening the meeting until we get to item 5 on the agenda this evening. So the first item on the agenda is apologies, and we have apologies from Councillor Ranger. The second item is declarations of interest. Arising from this agenda, members and officers are invited to declare any relevant interests. Notwithstanding this item, members may subsequently declare an interest at any point during the meeting. Does anybody have a declaration of interest this evening? No? Thank you very much. So we move on to item 3, which is minutes of the previous meeting, to receive and confirm the accuracy of the minutes of the Highways and General Purposes meeting held on the 18th of June 2025. I believe all members that are sat at the table this evening were present at that meeting. Everyone will have received a copy of those minutes. Is everybody happy that they are a true record of the meeting? Show of hands, please. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. I will sign those. Here's me. Thank you very much. So we move on to item 4, which is the election of a chair. To elect a chair of the Highways and General Purposes Committee for the municipal year 2025-2026, and this is deferred from the last meeting. Do we have nominations for election of a chair for this committee? Councillor Clay.
I propose Kevin is happy to take it.
I would like to second Councillor Andrioli as chair. Councillor Andrioli has served this council for nearly 20 years. He has chaired numerous committees and been vice chair of the council for nearly 10 years. He was also recognised by a Mayor's Award in Winchester. And I don't think anyone on council knows regulations of council like Councillor Andrioli. So I'm very happy to second the nomination. So can I have a show of hands then, please, of all those that are, unless there are any other nominations. Can I have a show of hands then, please, all those in favour of Councillor Andrioli? That's unanimous. Thank you. So, Councillor Andrioli, may I ask you to swap places with me, please?
Yeah, of course.
Well, thank you, members. I have to say, I am surprised, considering the vote 6 weeks ago, but thank you. I'll do my best to chair this committee as I've done my best to chair other committees in the past. I've not done this one before. But, anyway. So thank you for the vote of confidence. Hopefully it was. Item 5 then is the election of a vice chair for this committee of the rest of this municipal year. Councillor Lambert Smith.
Could I please ask for a recorded vote at the request of the RFO?
For this one, or the previous one?
For this one, it was unanimous, the previous one. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so do we have any nominations for Vice Chairman of this committee for the next the municipal year? Councillor Scully.
You go first.
That's on my form.
Okay, Councillor Clare.
I'll give one to Christine. She's new. I thought she'd like to give it a go.
No, I don't want to.
Well, we have one nomination, which needs seconding, so I will. I will. So we have one nominated person, which is Councillor Langford Smith as the Vice Chair of this committee. I'll show of hands for those in favour. Okay, and against? Okay, that's, you got that, Liz?
I think the RFO wanted a reason for votes against.
I don't think I have to give a reason. So you can record that I didn't give a reason.
That's the
Okay, by majority then, Councillor Langford Smith has been elected as the Vice Chairman of this committee for the rest of the municipal year, i.e. till next May. Sorry, Councillor Clay, you would like to say something. I wish to say something. Oh, okay. You were looking at me. I thought perhaps you wanted to say something. Okay, item 6, Highways and General Purposes Committee Project Report. To receive and review the project report from the committee clerk. The report will be to be updated when new chair is in place. Okay, so Liz and I have a job to do. Fair enough. Item 7 then, moving on, is public participation. The meeting will recess for not more than 15 minutes to allow any members of the public to address the meeting. Does the member of the public wish to address the meeting?
I'll congratulate you on your nomination, and the clerk of the committee needs someone. She hasn't had a chair for 2 months. There's a lot of things that are building up.
Thank you for that.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on then. Number 8 is damage to a bridge at the Greenways. That's the one I reported last time. It wasn't on the agenda last time, but I asked for it to be noted anyway because it was a health and safety matter for the public. Last time I walked across it, there had been some repairs. I'm not sure they were quite as adequate as I might have liked, but they had screwed down, somebody had screwed down the platforms that were lifting the non-slip foot walkway areas had started to lift. So that has been, I think we can note that that's been fixed. Okay, number 9, pedestrian bridge, river end to Old River. The pedestrian bridge which connects River End, Old River and the path leading up to the junior school is rotting. Costings are being explored for both a replacement bridge and for the ditch to be piped for 8 metres and then overfilled with soil and slope for safety, negating the need for steps and facilitating disabled access and a permanent solution to the issue. We're invited to note. Does anybody wish to comment? I ask if anybody wishes to comment because although we're to note, I know that Councillor Vickers had a differing opinion with some of the members.
I do have a different opinion with the with easy work. I think I want it noted that I think there should be a new bridge. If this solution is preferable than to having a few planks down to do it, then so be it. I can't really see it. I don't really understand what's going to go on, but I looked up there the day before yesterday, and it does need to be sorted. It is an accident waiting to happen, and I want it noted that I am I feel I need to say yes.
Yeah, okay. That's why
Culpability that we are just
Yeah.
giving ourselves overboard.
I think, depending on the costs, obviously, but yeah, piping and putting a flat surface across would actually mean that it would finally be have disabled access, which it never has. Councillor Scully, Councillor Hammersmith.
We got anywhere with costings on repair?
Sorry?
Have we got anywhere with costings of repair?
I'll have to ask the clerk because I have no idea.
No, we're still waiting for costings for those, but it is in hand. So hopefully,
Okay.
once, with your permission, Chair, once the costings are in, I'll email them out.
Yeah, by all means. I mean, schools are out at the moment, so it's not going to get as much use as it would have been, has been, but it's still a route that people will use. Now, Councillor Smith, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I've just noted that although it was me that sent the email in to say about having the ditch piped so that we could enable flat access across there, it was actually Councillor Brown's suggestion, and the clerk said that it was fine for suggestions to come to this committee from someone that's not on the committee. So I don't want to take credit for that a bit.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully we'll be able to get on with that pretty quick. Councillor Scully?
Yeah, one more thing, and that is that if we are going to pipe the ditch, then we need to get Commission of Waterways, don't we? Because they look after it as such and govern it. So,
I would. This going.
Chair, I'm advised that because there's no water in it, that we don't have to go to waterways. It's not actually a stream or a river.
Yeah.
It's just like a channel, but it's not a stream or a river. That's what I've been advised.
okay.
I recall from one a bridge required or something similar required on Goodman Fields that because it's a stream needed Environment Agency. And I was going to suggest if she hadn't already that our clerk speaks to the amenities clerk about it if necessary, but sounds like she's already done so. Okay, so anyway, we will await developments, but hopefully we'll get something done pretty quickly. And if necessary, we'll have to discuss getting it taken out anyway, which I think we already did. And it was, I can't remember what was on the last minutes, which said something along the lines of we need to tell the school that we will be taking out if it was not repairable. Yeah. In the event the bridge needs replacing, committee clerk will obtain quotes for a design which is wheelchair friendly. Well, we've had a suggestion that will make that available anyway. So, yeah, I must admit I haven't had a look at it for several months when it first came up. It was I did have a look then, but anyway, I shall do so now as I'm now the chairman. Right, okay. Moving on then to number 10, Safer Neighbourhoods meeting. The next Safer Neighbourhoods panel is scheduled for Thursday, the 23rd of October. It was discussed at the last meeting whether to continue due to the lack of attendance from the invitees, particularly the police, I believe, and to consider whether it should be an item on full council agenda instead. This will be discussed at full council on the 3rd of September, to note. Those who don't necessarily know, that originally set up as a forum for the police to meet the village and for the villagers to turn up and discuss with the police what their concerns were. And in the last few years, it's been very, very difficult to get the police in at all. But the only time they really turned up in numbers is when they realised the then Home Secretary was coming.
Sergeant Gilmore used to come with 2 PCSOs.
Yeah, they always used to attend. But anyway, but we will note that that's on full council's agenda. 11, Forest Road speeding measures. all internal approvals have been successful, and the emergency services have given the green light to proceed. The tender process has begun and anticipate being on site before the start of October. Forgive me if I don't hold my breath, but we will note. Also, speed watch device number 12 was removed because it wasn't functioning, and returned for testing and repair, and is now to be refitted, having been returned. So we note that. I noticed it was gone.
Chair, we're hoping to refit it tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Needs to be sort of liaised with the manufacturers, isn't it, to get it all set up properly. Yeah. Sorry, Councillor Scully, did you?
I just thought we'd bring them asking how much it costs to repair it.
It didn't cost anything,
Didn't cost anything.
only the postage, because they
Tell them
advised,
what
well, they advised that there was nothing wrong with it, that there was, it's to do with the factory. So they've done something to it, so it's fully charged up now, so it should work out.
And they've never had it repaired in the past, they were quite cheap. The devices, but their repairs seem to be, I recall. Okay, number 13 then, colleagues. Beat surgery. The next beat surgery will be held on the 15th of August, between 10:30 and 11, outside the co-op. That's PCSO will be in attendance. Half an hour don't seem very long, but I guess depends how many people want to speak to her. Sorry, Ken, did you?
No.
Sorry, Councillor Scully, she said. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you had your hand up or not. Okay. Make a note of that for item 15, I think. Okay, item 14, Barrow 14.1 applications. Note the list of applications since the last meeting. There was anybody who had any comments, but we'll note for those. Burial ground fees for this financial year have been increased in line with consumer price index at 3.7%, which we will note when we have a copy thereof of the figures. 14.3, review of burial ground regulations, to review and discuss, determine action. I noted the copy we got, Liz, was dated July, but I didn't actually, it was July 24. I was going to say, there didn't seem to be any changes marked at all suggested. Has anybody got any comments on the regulations? Councillor Langford-Smith?
I think Councillor Taylor's first.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes, 11.4 or 3, sorry, regarding images, engravings, and pictures, etc. I think considering what we've come up against in the past by residents and how they feel images, pictures, engravings on stones, if you will, are quite important to them and sensitive. I think it might be worth us looking at it at this point, or perhaps looking at how neighbouring cemeteries, policies and regulations conduct theirs, like Waterville, Rosecastle, or Cappington, for example, and see if it's worth trying to adopt and trying to have a bit of leverage to see if we can please some of our residents. I know they get quite upset at that.
I think the main thing we object to is images of the deceased, which
I know they have a little picture of Mr. or Mrs. or husband and wife or son or daughter. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Personally, it's my view. And I know other cemeteries, as you've seen, them adopt that. And I think for some of the villages and what we've heard in all the chatter in the past, they kind of tend to look to see why we don't do that. I know we have a policy and regulations in hand. I just didn't know whether it's worth reviewing that, or looking into it perhaps, see how others do it, and whether or not we can adopt similar
Okay. I mean, the only thing we nod through is across. Councillor Smith.
So it is on a case-by-case basis, and I have spoken with the vicar about this. The regulations that we've got are pretty much the ones that we inherited when we took over burial ground from the church, and when we had the queries over the misinformation about the flowers, the fact we weren't permitting flowers. I did speak to Emma at length about this, and she is of the opinion that the regulations that we've got are the ones that the church would want us to have. It is a consecrated burial ground. Images such as the person that's deceased, my grandmother is on the headstone. It wasn't my choice, but that's fine. That's individual choice. Some people find it really offensive. So it is completely personal choice, and it's a difficult one. I think we should look at it on a case-by-case basis. There aren't any headstones with images on there because they don't meet the regulations, and that's the regulations of the country burial ground. So I personally wouldn't be keen to see images of people on headstones. And as I say, it agrees.
Okay, well, Councillor Clay has made a suggestion, a proposal, I guess.
Just to look into it, I just wanted to see how
yeah, well,
at least then
I don't know, we need the resolution to get Liz to look into it. Okay. So anyone to second that we have a look? Yes. Okay, show of hands then for just looking into what other grants do. Yeah. And against? Okay, so one against. So we'll ask Liz to find the regs for other local similar situation burial grounds. I don't think we necessarily want to look at what it is in the centre of Portsmouth or something.
Does that affect costs? I have no idea. An image, would that affect costs of? Does that increase?
Well, they pay for the headstones.
Yeah. So does it incur costs for them if they want to?
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, Councillor Vickers.
Yeah, I feel like you. I think this is quite draconian, and I think we need to move with the times really. We have the burial grounds, and obviously we work hand in hand with the church, but I don't necessarily think we have to be tied by the doctrines of the church. I think, this is something that is really important. Yeah, and I just want to notice that I still think the burial grounds restrictions are archaic really, and I haven't moved with the times, and it causes a lot of upset for people at the most difficult time in their life.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult to get it right.
I understand that, but I don't think it should be tied to what the church says.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we have a thing to ask Liz to check what others do in the area. Okay. 14. Sorry.
Just to say, from some aspects, we have to be tied to what the church say because it's a consecrated burial ground. So from that aspect, we have no choice.
But not completely tied, because I did a little bit of googling and a little bit of research as well, and there is some sort of there is some flexibility in it.
Yeah. I do know that previous vicar in the village, and not the last one, but a previous one to that, was very against anything other than crosses on headstones.
At that point.
Yeah, but yeah.
But there are more lenient.
Well, we've agreed to look into it, so.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the deterioration of the path in Northfield. So, down the path to the Northfield is breaking up, becoming a trip hazard. Discuss and determine action. You've all seen the photographs. My simple mind, if you like, tells me that it's basically because there's subsidence there and there's not much in the way of a foundation. So I think we need to get somebody in to dig out the dodgy bits and reinstate. So that would, discuss and determine action. Well, that's my suggestion. Now, Sergeant Smith.
Just to say, we've had so much dry weather, there's so many cracks all over. I suspect that this is a victim of that as well. But yes, clearly there's no foundations and it is a health and safety risk, so I think we need to get someone in.
That's right.
Exactly that. I think it's quite a health and safety issue, so we need to protect all pedestrians that use that path.
Yeah, plus of that.
Would we still need to go out for different quotes, or is this something we can expedite very quickly?
Well, we do have a. Sorry?
Preferred suppliers.
Yeah, we have a preferred supplier, so we can ask for a quote from them.
Would it be pertinent perhaps for this occasion, seeing the...
I'll ask Liz to consult with the RFO whether this is likely to be okay to go with our preferred supplier. So are we happy to go with our preferred supplier if the RFOs that week? Otherwise we'll need quotes. Yeah. Everybody gets you now, that's good. Yeah.
Could we not put something, if we have cones or something to pop, or we tape or put something down the ground, if someone goes for a burden, not do something.
Yes, there is. We will ask this. It may well be that we can sort of pour some gravel in there or something temporarily to sort of try and avoid it cracking any further.
Spray paint or not biodiversible just to highlight the...
No, we'll ask, if everybody's happy, we'll ask the ground staff to see if they can do something temporary to alleviate the problem. The other thing, of course, is that's the tarmac one, which is the main one for wheelchair users. The gravelled ones, you can use a wheelchair on, but I suspect it's a bit tooth rattling.
Is there a thing that if you do a temporary repair, you become responsible for the temporary repair? If something happens, then it sort of becomes worse.
I was trying to avoid saying, but I'll have to now, that if you mark something that is a possible trip hazard, you acknowledge it and therefore definitely become liable.
Yeah.
Which I advised the community centre when they were talking about their potholes not to actually spray a yellow circle around them because that showed they knew they were there.
I think if you do the temporary repair and somebody has an accident after the temporary repair, they could come back at you because the temporary repair isn't good enough. So I think it's quite contentious.
That's like this way.
Well, the fact that it's on the agenda, we've acknowledged the fact that it's there as a health hazard.
We will see about getting it fixed by our approved supplier. In the meantime, we'll ask the ground staff to have a look. I'll acknowledge that the member of the public has a point he would like to make as a former chairman of this committee, and I will open the public session room to do so.
Our ground staff could buy some cold or tarmac, which they can then hammer down into the crack effectively, making the temporary repair in by bang and get the injury and places like that. It will work as a quick measure to stop the hazard.
Stop the trip.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Don't put yellow thing around it.
Yeah. Don't mark it. Just pull it in. Okay. Liz has made a note of that. Thank you very much, Councillor Brown. I'll close the public session again. And we'll move on to 14.5. This comes back to 14.3 in some ways, isn't it? A request for an illustration on a cremation memorial plaque. And we've probably all seen it. I profess to trying to figure out what that sport is, as to whether it's hurling or lacrosse or something similar, but I'm not sure.
It's not lacrosse. It's cricket.
Cricket?
That's what I'm trying to do. That looks like cricket.
It's not being that ball.
That's hammers, isn't it?
You've not seen it.
Yes, now you mentioned it, it is on the bat and balls thing. Anyway, sorry, Councillor Smith.
I was going to say, other than not really knowing what the image is supposed to be, it clearly means something to the person,
Yeah.
and I don't find that to be offensive at all. it's,
now
it's
it's been-
very subtle compared to the.
And now it's been pointed out, yes, it is a very old style cricket bat.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a plant.
So, are we minded to not object to this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone? Yeah, okay. Okay, then, let them know they can have that one then, please. Item 15, social media, to discuss and determine action on what content should be added to the Parish Council's social media. Well, I would suggest that certainly that we need to, if it's not already been done, advertise the feet surgery, as it's a couple of weeks away. And Liz tells me she's already put it up. Anything else anybody wants to put up on social media? No? Okay. Matters for the next agenda from anybody? No. Okay, confidential report then. Let's